This is my last delivery with Tantera. Today, I quit. We out. We're going to be starting over with yet another 386. This truck is called Lemonade for a lot of different reasons. Before we get to why I have this truck, let's look at where I've been with some other ones. When I first went over the road, I bought this truck. It was a 2007 Peterbilt 386 with an 8-cert Caterpillar and a 13-speed. The only reason I sold this truck is because it wasn't compliant. So I bought this truck, a 2012 Peterbilt 386 I named Lacey. This truck was a lemon. This truck was an absolute lemon though. It had the PACCAR MX-13, which was always throwing check engine lights, always in D-rate, always giving me problems. As nice as that truck was, it was definitely a headache and a very expensive one. I really did enjoy that truck, but it came to the point where I just had to sell it. And when the opportunity came to buy the lily pad, I jumped all over it, put this one up for sale. I kind of miss this truck. Well, meet Lemonade. This is where I picked it up down in Baltimore. Dragged this thing home and right away started tearing into things, removing things that didn't belong there, things that weren't working, fixing things that weren't right, and just overall going over the entire truck. I'm still not done going over it, and I'm still not really ready to run it just yet. Took out that tall shifter because I don't like them. Removed that AC thing that just was falling off the back wall. It had to go. The guy thought it needed either a head gasket or possibly an EGR cooler. So I went into that, checked it all out, and all that stuff is in good shape. The truck actually runs good after replacing the thermostat. Had some air leaks, and look at all that aluminum. Man, it needs to be polished so bad. Replaced the coolant tank, replaced some stuff, and I'm still kind of fighting the pressure issue. I do believe it's in the air compressor, but other than that, it doesn't overheat anymore. It runs good. We had bad tires, we had bad shocks, we had all kinds of issues. I contacted a guy in Marketplace that actually came to the driveway to install 8 drive tires. These guys were awesome and knocked the whole thing out in less than an hour. Definitely recommend them. I didn't buy the high-end tires that I normally do. I've always been a Michelin guy or a Bridgestone guy, but we went cheap because we're starting over. We've been in a bad situation. Now it's time to polish. I did all this by hand, and you'll see through the pictures and videos coming up just how much of a difference it really made in the truck. It needed to be done. Some of the things I needed to address was the broken leveling valve. I had a bad wire harness, which is why the coolant level light keeps coming on. But I would polish the wheels in between working on things, and as the weather got better, I'd dive into bigger projects. Keep in mind, this is all hand polish. There's one side versus the other. After a couple hours doing it, this is what I had on this side. I don't know, something didn't look right, and I've never been a fan of those fairings, so I ended up having to pull those things off and then start diving into actually polishing the rest of the tanks. I knocked out the step box, went back over this, and went over the wheels a second time. It's actually starting to look pretty good for not doing it with a machine. We'll get back into it though. Now it's on to the driver's side. The interior in this truck was an absolute mess. Right away I started pulling things out and scrubbing in between polishing, but it definitely made a huge difference going through it. The truck was smoked in, mostly cigars, and it was a mess back here in the sleeper. Shampooed the carpets, wiped out all these mats, scrubbed them with Simple Green, and then decided to get back into polishing. One of the issues I have is irregular voltage going to the sending unit, so I'm going to replace a couple of the pins and start all over again. The harness in that truck was really hacked. Here we start getting into the fuel tank. This is what it looks like when you pull those fairings off, just raw aluminum. You can see where I was polishing from the back. Now it's time to dive into the rest of it. If you ask me, a truck can never be too shiny, and I always like to look back and see what I've done. I actually started to sand this after I already started by not sanding, and it came out a lot better. This is what I'm going to start on with this side. Now that I've actually sanded it with an 800 grit paper and repolished, it actually looks a little bit better. cab sleeper bags were all dry rotted. I actually had one laying around, so I put that in right away. Got a new leveling valve on the way back from DMV and put that in. And then these shocks, they were blown. 2 of them came completely apart and they were leaking oil. So new shocks are in. We've got the new tires, we've got the new leveling valve, ride height set, and this thing is ready to rip. I did end up having to replace this track arm or whatever you want to call this. The bushings were pretty beat out. The first one was replaced very recently, but this one was just shot. Look at the difference in the rubber. That's going to make a big difference in how this truck rides. I'll talk a little bit about why I actually left Tantera without getting too crazy with it. I had a hard time making money here. I sold that white truck to buy the lily pad, and I did a partial lease to own. That's one of the biggest mistakes anybody can do, and I've never had anybody have any kind of control over me or where I go or how I go, but they hold the title until the truck's paid off. Unfortunately, I just couldn't make enough money to pay it down, let alone repair the truck and maintain it the way it needed to be. It was getting harder and harder to pay bills, and with the rising cost of operating, it just wasn't working anymore. So I made the decision to just walk away from a truck that I pretty much paid off aside from the sleeper itself and some of the repairs, and just start over again. Let's see where I go. If you've watched this far, comment below where you think I'm going to run next, and as always, see you on the road.